So we're gonna be changing this outlet out. I've already removed the, hang on, the old ones here. Or this is what this is. And we're gonna be replacing it with this. And we're also gonna be switching the position too. So before, the old one was like this, with the switch on the inside and the outlet out here. So we're gonna switch it to over here, so when it come in, the first thing that's gonna be close to the door will be the switch, so you could easily turn the light on. So I've already taken the old stuff out, and because these wires are so short, I'm gonna be using these Wago 221 lever nuts or whatever they are. So I'm already using one to cap off the live wire here, the hot wire. And now I have to figure out which wire is the load. We just should have labeled them, but it is what it is. And I don't know, it seems like they use this for the ground. I don't know why that is. That's strange. I don't know why that is. Where does it go to? I have to be careful with these wires. You have to be careful with these. Where does it go? That's the thing. Yeah, these wires are so short, it's like not even funny. I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is there. There's a unused wire there, alright. Don't know why there would be an unused wire like that there. But it is what it is. What's this one now? Yeah, this box is like almost falling right off the stud. Yeah, this box is falling off the stud, like really is. Alright, what's this wire though? Okay, I think I'm just gonna leave this connection alone because it still works. I'm gonna try to remove this wire nut. See what's under it. Oh, that's gone. Alright, so it's this. Which is interesting. Pull those out. Yeah, just gonna cut the end off of that. I'm gonna re-strip it. I don't know what happened to the ground coming in from these cables. They probably got all spliced together there. I don't know what happened to it. This is like... Yeah, this is the thing you come across when you're doing electrical work. I come across this pretty much all the time. This is the... I know this is the switch wire. So maybe I should label that. I don't know. Then we have all these short wires. We have this neutral wire here that's all broken off. And what's crap in here? Have this in there. Don't know what that's about. I think it was harder to one of the other ones. Yeah, this box has to get fixed. It's like falling off. Alright, we have the hot here, which is the neutral. Okay, it's this one. So this is the hot and neutral coming into this box. So this is the main power coming in. And I should probably re-strip this. I should probably do that. Let's probably re-strip this wire. I know this is number 12 wire. Just strip it off. Alright. I'm just gonna cut it shorter. Yeah. Alright, so I now cut it shorter. So this is the power now, right here. And I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, this is the light right here. So this is for the light. And it means the last cable is for the load. Or whatever is the, actually this cable is, I'm pretty sure, right there. Yeah, so this is the load that was off the GFCI in here before, which is this 14 gauge wire stuff. It's actually a little strange that they used 12 gauge coming in and then they used 14 gauge wire. Well, probably because this was probably originally a 20 amp circuit or whatever that they probably put on a 15 amp circuit eventually. And then they used 14 gauge wire to run the load off of this. So, and these load wires are like tremendously short, like you literally can't even work with this. This is just way too short. Wait a minute, was this like really? Okay, good. Line, load, and light. I don't know what these wires go to though. I think these are probably just abandoned wires. I don't know where they go to.
It don't matter, just hook it back up the way it was, Bradley.
Okay.
It's an old house. That's why I said don't mix it up. If it's gotta go back in the same way, if the wires aren't long enough to move around, put it back in the same way. Unless you can do it, just come on. We still gotta paint and stuff today.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to do that.
Hurry up.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold these wires back in here like this. So they don't touch anything. I'm just gonna fold them back like this. Those are unused. Alright, now we have this wire and we have the load ones now. And the load ones now get to go over here. Alright, the line gets to get moved over here. And then the switch gets to go over here. Alright. There we go. That's off. So this is the beauty of these. You just, yep, you just slide these wires in like this. It actually has to trim these a little shorter. These are a tad too big. There we go. So this is the beauty. You put them on like this. Then we put them on like that. And then you take the pigtail, which is one of these. Now just gonna cut that in half, and I'm gonna use this for the pigtail. Yep, you strip it like this. Just at both ends. There we go. Yep, there we are. Now this goes in the back of the box, like this. Alright, now I have to hook up the hot wires. So these are the load wires right here. Alright, so here it is. Alright, so this is going to yeah, those wires are all abandoned. I think it's probably capped that. Yep, I'm gonna get more of these wires out of here because I need a lot more than I thought I would. Get that one of those. Get one of those. I think I might need another one too. I don't need any more 3 conductor ones because I'm done with these. Alright. I'm just going to cap off this unused hot wire back in here. Don't know where that goes. Just going to cap this off. Yep, and then push it back in the back of the box. Like that. Alright, we have Yep, we have hot water right there. Okay, we have the line right there. We have grounds. And don't take that off yet. We have to. Okay. And now it is in there securely. And now I have to extend these out. Yep, just a tad bit. We have to extend them out. This is number 12. There we go. And now I'm gonna put this right in there like this. Kick it down. Alright, now I'm gonna attempt to tape onto this extra wire in there. Alright. This one. There. Okay, so let's security push that back. Back. Here's the light wire right here. I'm just gonna use the red for that. And there's a longer of them. Alright, there. Now, I'm not going to take it off yet, I have to. Do the ground, which for some reason is on this 14 wire. That's strange. Alright, I have to do the grounds. And we have. Okay, gotta do the ground, gotta cut this in half. Like just cut it down the middle. There. Alright, there. Now, yeah, this is two. This one is for the. Yeah, this one's for the sweats, and then this one is for the receptacle itself. And now I have to strip that wire. Yeah, this is probably 14 gauge wire. Let's try 6. Is this really 16 gauge wire? Well, looks like it is 16 gauge wire. Why would they use that for a ground? Yeah, this wire is very hard to strip. Oh, I got it though. Wow, that is aluminum wire. That's very unusual to see that. It's aluminum. Oh, I got the grounds. If you put them in the back like this. Yep, and then now. Yep. This is the outlet, and then this is the switch over here like this. Alright. So having situated. And now we have the line load, the neutrals, and then we have the main neutral right here going to the receptacle. And then we need 3 connector going to this. Yeah, I have to cut this end off. Oh yeah, I could probably use some of this for that. Yep, some of it for the pigtail to the switch, and then some of it to the receptacle. I know this is number 12, because almost everywhere 12 gauge wire is used. How about that? This is all stripped. Let's strip this one. Alright, need another 3 connector one in here for the hot wires. And I need a 2 connector right there. I'm using a lot of rubber lever nuts here. Alright, I have about that this time. Alright, let's see. Okay, we're gonna put this on later. Now I get to put this on. Undo this. There we go. Okay, that's for the light. And I need to extend this wire because it was very short. Gonna use the red. there. Oh, turn it off. Probably wasn't even in the camp. That's why it fell right off. Wasn't even in there. There. Now you fold that in the back, like that, and there we are. We have the switch wire right here. Alright, we have load with the GFCI. We have line neutral. Now I have to put the hot wires on there. Now I have to put on the new devices. Yep, now we're getting somewhere, and of course the... Oh yeah, I just discovered that the hot goes over here, and the load goes over there. And that's how it works on these. The load goes on this side. Yep, the neutral goes over here, and the hot goes on this side. I have to make sure I take note of that when I put this in again. These are really strange that they used an aluminum ground wire instead of a regular copper ground wire. Well, they probably used what they had, and I think that connection is still going to work because it have always been working. So there's probably no doubt that it's always going to work. And then this is gonna... Yeah, I actually think this is gonna go to the... Oh yeah, I think this is gonna go to the GFCI. I'm pretty sure. This is probably gonna be the GFCI. And then this is probably gonna be the switch. Actually, maybe I should try to hook up the GFCI first before I connect it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna hook up the ground first, because that's always what you should do. And then I'm gonna hook up the load first. Alright, so don't want to hook it up that way because the load that this controls is going to be reverse polarity, and I don't want that. So I have to hook it up correctly on here. Since this wire's in here already, might as well hook this one up first. Oh, make sure it doesn't come all the way through. There we are. There, that's connected. Alright, now I have to connect the neutral. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well connect the ground. Since I'm here. Might as well, because the ground goes right there. There we are. Now it's connected. Alright, that's connected. Right there. And now, this is the load neutral. Hook this up to here, like this. Why is it going in? Yep, there it goes. It's in. Yeah, putting this in is like hard. Oh. Yep, there it is. It's in. I've toned it. There it is. Oh. Alright, that should be in. Oh, got the outlet in. Now on him here, might as well connect the line neutral right here. I think I should cut this shorter. There. Let's cut it shorter. Okay, that probably helps. Yeah, that, you know what? Keeping my tools against that sink. Alright, there we are. Okay, this is the switch wire. So, I made it red, so I know it's the switch wire. And now I get to do the fun part, hook up the live wires to the outlet. Now I got to do the fun part now of this whole job. Connecting them up. Yeah. So this is gonna be for the switch. This longer one here. And then this is gonna be for the outlet, and then that is where the hot wire is gonna go into. Okay, I'm gonna hook it up when I'm done. I'm gonna open this screw up. And make sure that the ground goes over here to the switch. And then hook this up in the outlet like this. There we are. Alright, so now the hot wire is connected to the outlet. Now I get to hook it up in here.
Doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing fine in here.
Nice.
We have the ground for the switch, which is now going to be over here.
Good job.
Now I have to take this off and hook it up. Hang on. And now I have to be careful that this wire doesn't touch the ground now, because now it won't work. There we are. Yep, it works. It works. See if it works. Oh yeah, it works good already. Do you also want to test the outdoor outlet too, to actually make sure it's protected from this?
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute.
Alright, so now I have to push the hearts back in the box. And then I have to cap this heart off now. Okay, that's capped off for safety.
Good job.
There we go. So that's back in there. Alright, now we have the outlet working. Yep, that works. Oh, no, do not want the ground wire to touch one of these. Don't want that. Don't want that to happen. Back. And like this. Good thing I have insulated gloves on. So anytime you're doing electrical work where you can't shut the power off, insulated gloves is almost certainly a must-have for safety reasons. Well, I'm not sure where the breaker is for this anyway, so I have no idea which breaker it is for these. Okay, you just have to take these screws out. Yeah, the original one is held in with these screws right here. Definitely the wrong screws for the job, but it's what they had to do, because it looks like these screw holes in here were already stripped out, so they had to rethread them with bigger screws. So I'm gonna have to put these ones back in now. I have to take out these and put those ones in. And I also have to put in these spacers too, because they'll fall back the boxes. And speaking of box, I have to secure the box, because look at this. I think what I might do is I might like screw the box. Well, if you put a screw like right here, then the whole box is probably just gonna crack and break even more, because how broken it already is now. There's like old chip out of it. It's just a mess, this box. But it's all what there is in here, so I have to make sure this box lasts as long, because it's the only box that's only gonna be here. You have to just make it work. Alright, so this is for the switch. So I'm gonna hook up the switch after I get the outlet in. So this is the switch right here. So the Leviton faces towards the bottom because this is a Leviton switch. Oh yeah, also with this one, the ground is also up top on this one. So many switches I've seen, they're just on the bottom, but this one is just on the top. That's a little weird. But anyway. Oh yeah, now I get to no. Make sure it doesn't touch anything. Careful it doesn't touch anything. Good thing I'm wearing insulated gloves so I don't feel the shock as much compared to if you're not wearing them. Good thing I'm wearing them. Any electrician, you have to wear these. They're a must. Okay, careful, don't touch that copper. Okay, almost an hour in. Still haven't, at least I got this hooked up. How am I gonna reroute this now? Have the live wire here, make sure this doesn't touch anything. Don't want that to touch anything. Probably gonna cap that. Yep, gonna cap that again. There. Okay, it's capped for safety. Alright, so I have to reroute this wire over here. There. Yep, there it is. It's over here. Yep, it's over here now. Yep, it's the ground. Alright, now I get to hook up. Now we get to hook up the hot wire back. So now the ground is at the top where it should be. Good thing I double checked that before I put it all back together. There. Back working again. Alright, now I get to push this back in the box. Oh, before I do, I have to cap this. Alright, there we are. Now I have all the wires to wire up the switch. And this switch is going to be easy because it has these back wire things on the back, which is very cool. But first, I have to take these out and I have to put in those wood screws that they had in there before. Alright, so the lights on that is on, so the GFCI is power. Oh. Good thing I double checked it, don't want it to back out. Okay, this is the hot wire. And then this is the switch wire, which I colored this color. So it's all the way in the back now. And then this, going right here, on this side. So these are the switch wires. Oh. when there's longer leather nuts, there's probably tape over them so they don't accidentally come open. Because that's the thing with longer leather nuts, because the leather nuts could just pop open and then the wires could pop out. So if you're using longer leather nuts, it's really recommended to tape them, especially in a tight application like this, so they can't open and the wires can't pop out and short on something else. Really weird that they use that aluminum ground wire though. I should probably get an outlet tester for this, see if it's... Pretty sure it is, because it's probably grounded and stuff. Alright, now this GFCI has to be pushed in. Okay, why don't I just do that? Why don't I just take these screws out? Yep. Okay, I just have to take out these screws and put in the screws that were in there before, because these screws won't do anything. These screws won't work. So I have to change them. Okay, got those screws out. Now I need those extenders out of here. It's really hard to do with these gloves on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pre-fold these in like this. Oh, get that away from that. Don't make it touch that. I probably should have made it up there on top of that neutral, but it is what it is. I think it's probably tape that. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that tape. No, but what I do have is I have my outlet tester, which is what I need. That's what we get that tape. I don't need to, but the plastic box. Discovered I don't need electrical tape, but I have this outlet tester for when I'm done. Oh yeah, I just discovered that this neutral is in the way of the ground. Crap. Oh wait, it has to come apart now for the, what's this, like the fourth or fifth time? Oh, make sure that doesn't come off. Push that in the very back thing. So that this is away. This is away. These logo leather nuts are amazing. Whoever came up with these is an absolute genius. Because this is probably what every electrician wanted. Wanted an easier way to secure wires, especially in an old house like this, where all these wires are old. Well, not all of them, because obviously that 16 gauge ground wire was old. I know that they probably used that because it was the only thing they had, and that connects in. Well, it's only a ground wire, it doesn't need to be big because it's only going to be used only if a short circuit ever occurs. See if I could take these. See if I could take this neutral out. There. Put this up there. And put this back. There. Alright, here's the ground. The ground is now up here safe and sound, so we don't have to worry about it shorting. Okay, now I have to get the spacers out because I'm going to put the GFCI in first because I want to get that secure. Okay. Because I don't want this thing moving when it plug in like a hairdryer or something. So I have this bag of outlet spacers that I bought on Amazon. And these spacers are designed to fix applications like this, where a regular box extender won't work, and this is recessed in. So this is what these box extenders are used for. They're used for applications like this, so just grab the thing out, and then take it off like that, and you can fold them over, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna fold them over so there's more room. And let's see, will this work? Well, I know that will work. Look about down here. It'll work. Okay, so I'm gonna put these spacers in so I can space it. And how would these screws fit? Would they fit? Oh yeah, perfectly these screws would fit. Now I have to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere else in there. Because I have these outlet box spacers. So these are going to be for the GFCI. Maybe the GFCI side should have 3. And then the switch side could have 2. But of course the wall plate, which is going to be the screwless plate, would probably also hold the box in place as well. Well, when the wall plate's on, then the wall plate is going to pull the box where it needs to be. So just clamp it all tight to the drywall. Might as well get the bottom one in first. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, this whole box is moving inwards. We're gonna make it harder to align it. Let's probably screw it so it doesn't move. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this screw in right here. That screws in. Now the biggest challenge is gonna be trying to put all this in there. The screws in this bad shape wouldn't go in easy. That's what I'm gonna find out right now. Oh, make sure that doesn't short. Okay. Oh. Alright, that's all lined up. Why isn't it going in? Well, I can't get it in because this box keeps moving because it's very loose. It's really hard to get it in when the whole box is just moving.
I gotcha. I should get them both hooked up and see if it works. And then I'll help you push them in.
Alright. Alright, so I'll do that then. Ground right here. Oh yeah, this is just one of those loop ones. Alright, look what that is. Alright. Alright. So if this works, this one can go in there. Alright. Gonna hook up the ground first. So the Leviton, you could tell because if the Leviton is the right side, then this is the top. And also take note of which way the screw turns. In this case, the screw turns this way. So, which means that this has to be looped this way. There we go. Alright. Now I'm gonna hook up the ground. Really easy on this. Actually, I should put that connector on there so it doesn't show it. Alright. There we go. This goes on like this. And then actually this has to be straightened. There. But that has to be straightened out so it'll fit. And oh yeah, you could also probably spin it. You could do that too. Yeah, but what I'm gonna do, try something here. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna try something here. So after this, definitely never touching this box again. After this, because this box is absolutely horrific. This is one of the worst electrical boxes that I ever dealt with. But one of the worst like violations I've seen. Yeah, this like has a lot of them. Whoever really did this, whoever really set this up didn't do it properly. Yeah, like one of the worst electrical jobs I've seen. Well, I'm not an electrician yet, but I am going to school for it. Because I already know about electrical stuff. And it... Oh yeah. Yeah, so the trick is to just make it straight. And then get this under here like this. And then you can probably just slide it right on. Yep, like that. You can just slide it on. Yep, and then you can just tighten it down. Well, good thing we're going to be painting in here after. Because if these ears accidentally like scratch the wall, well, we could always spackle it and then paint it so you won't nip. So good thing I'm doing this right before we paint in here, because that's what we're about to do in here. There it is. Ground is hooked up. Okay, the ground is all hooked up. Now I have to hook up these switch wires. The rest of them. Yeah, that's 16. The wire in there is all safe. Alright, now we're going to have to hook it up. We're going to hook up this wire first. Yeah, this is the switched wire. Good thing I labeled it so I know what is which. Yeah, we have to use the flathead to get under there and open it up. If I can't do it, I might have to loop it around there.
Breathe. Take your time. You do it.
This one.
Did you get it?
Not yet, but I'm trying to.
Thank you, Jesus, for the help. Holy Spirit. Guide your hands.
way. Oh, remember that. Did it just go straight through his glove? It did. It did. How is it possible since I had insulated glove? Well, I didn't feel it as bad. Thank God. Yep, it works. It works. I think the insulation is wearing off on these, that's probably why. Or maybe it's probably because I was touching like a ground wire or something. Yeah, that must have been the only reason, because it was probably touching the ground wire. Because there was a path for electricity to flow somehow. Oh yeah, you know why. Because I was probably touching that at the same time, that's why. Alright, got it together. So it works. You push it all in. So it works.
Thank you, Jesus. Good job. In the hand.
I'll take these out.
Were they stripped out? I saw where they used the bigger ones.
Yeah, they were, because that's why they used the big ones. I now have to take these out.
I got
you. Alright now. Take this out, the top one. Alright, get those out. Alright, now I have to get the big ones in. Yep, so it works. Good thing it works. Oh yeah, it's going in. Yep, there it is. So that's in there. Alright. This is coming for now. Alright. So this is actually going to be my first electrical video ever on my channel. So I hope you enjoy it because it's going to be my first electrical video on a channel ever. So hope you guys enjoy. Alright, now I have to get the other one in just to get it started.
Good job.
So this is going to be a much better layout now compared to how it was before.
Be right before you screw it all in, it's make a problem.
What?
The fan ain't on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wait, wasn't it? Okay, never mind, you're good. Alright, oh, I got you. Sweet, good job. You can turn it off. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's why the GFCI is hitting the edge of this box. Yeah, that's why it's hitting the edge of the box. That's why it ain't going in, it's actually hitting that corner of the box. That's why it ain't going in. Alright. I have to move this over because it's hitting the box.
You got it?
I got it. You have to turn it a little bit or something. I think I should probably take this out and start over. So hopefully it now goes as planned. Maybe I should try to get the top in first. I'm not trying to fight it all in. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the top in first. Yep, get the top in first. There it is. That's him. Actually, it looks like there's a bit of an issue. Actually, no, there isn't. That's fine. Put the bottom in. And then after this, I have to put the spacers in so it won't get pushed any further in. Definitely not the right box for the job, but it is what it is. Alright. It's going in now. Now getting the switch in is going to be easier because it's now on this side of the stud, so it's going to have more. So it's not going to move as much over there. Just that. Alright. And stepped out again. Using these kind of screws for the job is not really helpful. Watch how hard it is just trying to get this outlet in. Like this. Okay. How many hours are we at? Almost an hour and 30 minutes just trying to like watch me fumble to get these outlets in. So I guess you guys better enjoy it now instead of trying to watch me fumble with these outlets. Oh yeah, that's right, that whole screw's all stripped out. It's all stripped out. Is there another one or something? Try this one. Maybe it's the wrong one. Let's try this one. Well, good thing it's just the ground wire. Try this one. See if this one's any better, because maybe it's this one. Maybe it's just the screw I have to try. Yeah, that's really stripped out in there.
Should I help you?
I think I got it.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be perfect.
Of course I know that. Just gotta get it so it works.
Means we gotta get a new box eventually or whatever. Not right now. Thank you. You're doing an amazing job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that screw hole is just gone. The entire threads in this side of the box are just gone. There's really nothing the screw's grabbing onto. They're just gone. Alright, well I have to use something else to secure it then. Cause this screw is just gone. It's not threading into anything. Maybe we could try to hold the box.